Morning, everybody. Little different angle today, same garage. Um, Decided to have a fuller picture. Just trying something out, seeing if you guys like it better. If you do, that's awesome. If you don't, then feel free to let me know. I'm thinking it doesn't matter a whole lot. But anyway, it's Monday, so the beginning of a new week. We have an opportunity to do what's right and what's honoring God and what's not. Um, I'm praying that I and all of you choose to do that thing that honors God. One of the things that I've noticed is that doing this has really held me accountable, which is awesome. And so, thank you guys for helping me do that. Please continue to. So, if you would like, share, and subscribe, all those things Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, doesn't matter. But please continue to do those things so that way more people get to see what I'm talking about. And hopefully, what I talk about is honoring to God. So, today we're going to talk about something a little different. Um, Today, we're going to talk about how crappy we are. So, unfortunately, we all suffer from this sin. It's the sin of selfishness. So, are you selfish? The answer is most definitely yes. I think we all are selfish to one degree or another at one time or another. Some of us a lot, some of us maybe less, but we all are selfish. So the purpose of the cross is to completely decimate your loyalty to the most seductive and powerful of all idols, the idol of self. As Paul David Tripp in my Bible study devotional that I'm doing, it's New Morning Mercies. That was his quote for today. So definitely you can see where selfishness is something that we all suffer from. So when we see it in small children, whenever little Timmy or little Sarah doesn't get his or her way, they throw that big fit in the middle of the store and they're stomping their feet and crying. We see it in teenagers. Once again, when they don't get their way, when they're told that they can't do something that they feel like they should have the ability to do because they're an adult now, but they're really not. And they walk around huffing and puffing and not being very kind to their brothers and sisters or their parents. We see it in the bitterness of older people. We've all known that one uncle or grandparent that was just mean and angry. No one escapes this sin. We all deal with it. We've all dealt with it both from the giving end and the receiving end. There's no limit to the brokenness, angst, and pain this sin has caused. It is the foundation for so much unhappiness and moral disaster. So it's just there. It permeates through everything that we see. Um, it causes uncomfortable family moments, disloyalty, violence, and discontent. Um, all this and so much more is caused by selfishness. We have fallen down at the feet of this altar, um, and we see throughout the Bible it's not about me. It's not about you. It's not about us. It's about God. Life comes from God. It is controlled by God. We're never the center of the universe because God is, and He fills up all the space. Our desire to be at the center of things leads to our dysfunction, our disappointment, to brokenness. And Jesus came to release us from that bondage to ourselves. That way, we can find freedom in Him, and by dying to self, we know that freedom. I'm going to read a passage of scripture from me to you, for you. I would dare say it's probably one anybody who's gone to church for any length of time has heard before. 2 Timothy 3. I'm going to read the first 4 verses, and I want you to see There's a list of sins in here. First, I want you to see where selfishness falls and what it's kind of grouped with. So here we go. 2 Timothy 3, verse 1. But understand this, that in the last days there will come times of difficulty. For people will be lovers of self, lovers of money, proud, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, heartless, unappeasable, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not loving God, treacherous, reckless, swollen with conceit, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God. I'll check that out again. In this list, God gives us people that are heartless, people that are slanderous, they don't have any self-control, they don't love God, they're conceited, they're not good people. And yet the very first thing that he says is that they're lovers of self. They love themselves too much. They're selfish. That selfishness leads to all the rest of this stuff. So, as you go through your day, pray. God says, hey, Jason, you might be being a little bit selfish right now. And if you are, and you recognize it, then you have the opportunity to fix it. So, just thank God for his mercy. Thank God for his freedom from selfishness if we choose to take it. And guys, we'll see you tomorrow.